Notes from the Upper West Side, a novel by Dan Wrench.
Chapter 138. C'est moi! When Cammy stormed out with her biker jacket, she slammed the door behind her. And then a second later, we heard the door to the retail space make a big slam sound. It was like a two-man production of High Noon with me instead of Gary Cooper and doors instead of guns. Fonda looked extra sad when she heard the doors slamming. She turned to me.
You know, Cameron isn't usually so upset and angry. I don't know if you heard this, but her theater company, Milestone, rejected the play she had all ready to stage.
Democracy my ass?
Yes, they call it democracy for short. I call it ass for short,
Bang said. Fonda continued.
They said, the Milestone board said, the script needed work, a lot of work. But Cameron got texts from some of her friends on the board. These friends said that some obese person thought the humor was hate speech and wanted Cameron to lose her job for reading it in front of the company. And another board member, who may also have been a fatty, wanted her daughter to play the president's wife, but Cameron had someone else in mind. Bunch of dicks,
Bang said. Why didn't she simply stage it herself? I asked. I was still using the mature voice.
Brave, Fonda said. But without the board, where would she get the funding?
Good point, I said. I tried to seem glum. She worked so hard and they just took it away. There ought to be some recourse, some way for her to fight back.
I know, Fonda said.
She was almost in tears.
Bunch of dicks,
Bang repeated. Fonda stood up and wandered through the vestibule door. I assumed she was going off to look for Cammy. As soon as he could see we were alone, Bang jumped up from where he was sitting and went to the table across the room and sort of half sat, half leaned on it and looked at me.
So, Paul,
he said in a voice just loud enough to hear inside the room.
Is it true you corrected Cameron on her pronunciation of dumbass?
I, may well have done so.
Please, I'm begging. Drop the headmaster act, or the grown-up act, or the railway foreman act, or whatever act you're doing that makes you talk about 2 octaves lower than usual. I've got your back.
You do? I asked in my normal voice.
Yeah. I know you're taking the low road by pretending to take the high road. As long as you're the one who got her to stop saying dumb bass, we're good.
Yeah?
Yeah, he said. If I heard one more dumb bass, I would have ended up coming in one day with a BB gun and aiming at eyeballs.
Yeah, right?
But ease up on the fake sensitivity. It's literally making my skin inch away from you.
Roger that, I said. Right then, Whispers stepped in and looked around. Hey, gents, he said. I said, hey, Bobby. He didn't say anything else. He just stood there looking at us like he was giving us a chance to volunteer info. He did that for a few seconds, then disappeared again into the vestibule. And for the rest of the night, it was just me and Bang. We were quiet at first, but then we got to joking and singing more ribald songs or ribald versions of songs, like this one, to the tune of She'll Be Comin' Round the Mountain. Oh, she'll be a salty brisket when she comes. Yes, she'll be a salty brisket when she comes. Oh, she'll be a salty brisket. She'll be a salty brisket,
and we'll eat her with a biscuit when she comes.
Look, we were two heterosexual males with no civilizing influence at the moment. Was it art? No. Could we have better spent the time exchanging iambic couplets? I'd like to say yes, but I'm pretty sure composing iambic couplets was for each of us just shy of solving trigonometry problems. On the bus ride home, I ruminated on this latest episode with biker gal Cammy and how she'd slammed her way out of the tobacco shop. I kind of pictured her going home and taking it to heart that, hey, maybe she wasn't completely blameless for the fiasco at the Film Plaza Cafe. I mean, look, we had this thing, right? It was a thing. This intimate thing where I was pretending to be the daddy and she was pretending to be 6 or 7 other people. I chewed her mound, and she bit my pipe, and we were close. And I thought about Jessica and how she said in some cultures this is what closeness is between a man and a woman, the erotic. And what's more erotic than munching mound and biting pipe? Sure, it ended badly that last time when she was the little girl, and also the first time when she was the little boy and the little boy's mommy. Suddenly I felt like a caricature of a real person. Maybe it was the drugs. What the fuck am I talking about? Erotic, I thought. We'd fucked up big time. But I tried, man. I really tried. You guys out there reading this, you know how hard I tried. And she blew it off. We had this mound pipe thing, or we could have had it if she'd given it a chance and was normal instead of role-playing Billy and Mommy and some little girl. She was a psycho perv. The twat. What kind of intimacy is that? She could have been a regular screw. The kind of girl you bang in your parents' basement on a Saturday after the big game. And I would have fallen in love with her. I would have! She threw that away so she could blow some pear-shaped schmagegi who was supposed to direct the show that turned out to be such crap she couldn't even get it staged. So now I guess the tables were kind of turned on her. I was well, if you'd seen me back then, you'd know I was this worked out and muscly and leathery guy like a damn cowboy. I was even getting the outline of abs at one point. Swear to Apollo and Demona. If I stick with it for another decade, I'll end up looking like Parp. And I produced this video she worked on, or at least I helped produce it. And what about the factory at the tobacco store? Who organized that? Am I right? Who took it from village tinkering to the 21st century machine it is now? C'est moi!
Notes from the Upper West Side is a work of fiction. The people depicted in this work do not exist.
Notes from the Upper West Side. Copyright 2024 by Dan Wrench.